Hey y'all, good morning, good morning. Turn this light. How y'all doing? As always, I hope everyone have an amazing day. As always, gratitudes. I be forgetting sometimes, but gratitude. So this morning, I'm thankful for the world. I'm thankful for the universe, and I'm thankful for all the children. That's what I'm thankful for. Alright. As always, do y'all 3 gratitudes every single day and night. Okay? Continue doing it. Be thankful. The more you're thankful, the more your life will be grateful. Okay? So this message is kind of like a 2-part harmony, but I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna shift it again. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna just get straight into it. I'm gonna do this video about interviews. It's a topic I've been wanting to talk about when it comes to how we represent ourselves. I know I said I was gonna do a topic for like the girls. I did one for the boys, growing up to be gentlemen, and now I'm gonna do one for the girls. But this will be a 2-part because I feel like, I don't know if y'all notice, but I feel like sometimes my videos sound like they more for females, and that's not the case. It's for everyone, but sometimes I feel like I kind of project that information a little bit more. And it's not that I don't care about guys or whatever. I'm gonna just say it like this. I know in my adult videos, and not adult videos, but videos for the parents or whatever, I am a little bit harder on females than guys, and I know in this world, excuse me, little ones, it's like that ain't fair. That ain't fair. You understand? And I get it, but it's like this, girls. I understand that, like. There was a point in time where guys was able to leave the houses and go do what they need to do to take care of the families. And back in the day, there was real families. They went through it, but they stuck together. Even if they did do some stuff they ain't supposed to do, they stuck together with the families. And back in the day, people used to have like 10 kids minimum. Just to let y'all know, it was something. And the guys went out farming or whatever they done, to take care of their families. You understand? And the females had to stay home. Now, when it came to kids, not everybody had 10 kids, but it wasn't weird back then for people to have a lot of kids. In this genre, I'm gonna put it like this: in society, when it came to race, as color-wise, and I don't want to focus on that, but I'm just giving you, more black people have more kids than other races. Okay, so just put it like that. Now I tell you, we're all family. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, black people, black people have more kids than any other races as a whole. But yeah, so what has happened throughout time? Ladies got tired of being inside the house with the kids, being a stay-at-home mom. And see, think about it, before phones was a big thing, like, that's a lot. Like, they were strong. They was able to do what they needed to do. They couldn't harass the guy. They couldn't sit back and be like, where you going, this and that. If they said, I'm going to get food, they had to trust, I'm going to get food. If I'm going to get work, they had to trust, I'm going to get work. And sometimes back in the day, your greats, they didn't come back home for a couple of days. It could have been weeks, because they had to go so far out, because a lot of these people didn't have vehicles. Some of them didn't have, horses or something to ride on. They literally had to walk. And so the wives, or, even the kids, had to sit back, take care of the household, take care of the yard and all of that stuff to keep everything tidy and clean. And see, back in the day, cleanliness was close next to godliness. That's how they believe. So a lot of people took care of the houses. They made sure, you like, think about it, even to this day there's still some old houses that was so far back that's still in good shape because they took so much care of it. The quality of it, they took very care of it. But yeah, so what has happened is over time the females got tired of being stuck home, and then the roles started changing. Now the females are starting to walk outside the house and venture off and stuff like that. Then we came up into time, technology started rolling in, and then it got to a point that it became a competition. Because now females have to prove that they have a right in this world. They have to prove that they matter in this world. They're more than just a household name. You understand? They want to show that, hey, I can do the same thing that men can do. I can go out here and get a job. I can still take care of my family no different than he can. I can still take care of my family and bring an income in, because at that time, females was thinking, I'm not trying to take over. I just want to be a help. Because these guys walking out, they going out doing all of this stuff to take care of the family. And the females noticed that that was a lot on the husbands. And even though the females had a lot going on at home, they didn't care. It's like, my job is never done. Because they used to cook, clean, take care of the kids, housework, all of that. And so the females felt, man, I need to go help my husband, because he got to take these long walks. He got to do all of this stuff, these hard labors. And see, back in the day, they was only getting like 10 cents an hour. You understand? Y'all don't even like getting $10 an hour. They was doing twice. They was doing a week worth of work in one day. And then got to come home. And the wives got tired of it, because guess what? By the time the men get home, they don't have time for the wives like that. The only time they have time for the wives is to make another child, and then they back at work again. And the wives get tired of it. They want to be able to have quality time. They want to be able to enjoy life with their husbands, or at least have a life of their own. So, like I said, they go out and they start working. But what happened was, a lot of guys felt some type of way, because you're my wife. You shouldn't have to work. You shouldn't have to do anything. But no, I'm here. I'm trying to help you. I want to do this. No, it's my duty as a man to take care of my house and my family, my kids. You're supposed to be home. And it starts a lot of rifts. But the wife's looking at it as, I'm trying to help you out. But the men looking at it, you making me less than a man now. Because this was my responsibility. I'm the head of the household. I'm the one that's taking care of. Yeah, I listen to you and stuff, but I'm the final decision. You understand? And guys felt like, man, they're taking away my manhood. Because now the females going out here, and what happened? Females actually start getting paid, doing twice as much. Because now the men looking at it, dang, I'm out here in the field for 12 hours, 16 hours in a day, and she's out here doing the same thing I'm doing, and still taking care of the kids, and still washing the clothes, because they ain't have washing machines and stuff back then. They had to hand wash the clothes. Now throw 10 kids on top of that. You understand? It was a lot. And then sometimes the females, what they'll do is take the kids with them to work and make the kids help work at the same time. And a lot of guys felt some type of way, because it's like, how in the world you were able to multitask all of this and still make me feel like a man at the same time? It made them feel less than. Call it what it was. You understand? But then it got to a point that a lot of guys start becoming controlling. Yep, they became controlling. So in order to make the female, not all the time, but sometimes, in order to make the female feel like she don't deserve, they started yelling, screaming, beating on the females. I'm call it what it is. Call it what it was. They start beating on them because they need to tear the female mindset down so they can still feel like a man. Because they already getting beat up at work. They already working for a change. And then they got to deal with the wife, got to fuss with the wife too. But they don't realize that's just love. She just loving the man. But they don't see it as that. They looking at an ego. They're looking at it as my ego. Now, I'm not talking about all races, because some races actually had, how can I say it, luxuries. You understand? But even for those, they felt some type of way as well. So let's jump on that side. 'Cause I don't want to feel like it's a one side, because based off of what I said, we already know what race that is. You understand? At least whatever the, shade of that race is. Now, when it came to the other side, those females felt like, all right, so when it came to the other races, they had a little bit more luxury. They could do a little bit more. They could have a little bit more. They didn't have to do as much. But at the same time, the females felt like, you know, they actually, I'm going to say this, when it came to the other race, they actually liked being stay-at-home moms. They loved it. They loved getting pampered. They loved getting taken care of. They loved the fact that they didn't have to do much. Now, not all of them. Some of them got caught up into the other side, okay? Some of them did. But for a good chunk of them, you know, race-wise, the wives like to be stay-at-home because they was getting taken care of, because the ones that the other ones I was talking about was taking care of them. So they had those luxuries. But the thing about with them, at the same time, the later on in life, they start getting tired because they want to be able to be more than just sitting home with the kids and stuff. But even though they wasn't taking care of their own kids, they didn't have a mind of their own, unfortunately. They didn't know how to cook. A lot of them didn't know how to clean because they had maids. They had butlers. They had the different people to take care of stuff. Some of them did, okay? Don't get me wrong. Some of them did. But it got to a point that they start realizing they're not really thinking for themselves. I'm just calling it what it was. You understand? Because the man was doing everything. They didn't have to think. They didn't have to worry about anything because the man was taking care of everything. Now the other ones, they always had to worry because they didn't know who was going to come in the yard. They didn't know who was going to take from them. They didn't know who was going to steal from them. They didn't know who was going to come after them. Okay? So both sides literally went through things. Give me a second, y'all. I know I'm giving y'all like a little history lesson, but give me a second. So, long story short, both sides, female-wise, got to the point that they wanted something. They wanted to have something for their own. One side, majority of them, I'm going to call it what it is. One side, majority of them, they just wanted the positions, but they didn't want the spots. They just want the titles. They just want to look like they was doing something, but they really wasn't. The other side, they fought for what they was trying to have. They wanted to be able to be known that this is not just a position, this is a spot, and I earned this spot. You understand? Because when it came, I'm going to just call it what it is. I'm going to put it like this. No, y'all can figure out, get in where you fit and figure out which one is which. I don't even want to start focusing on actual colors. So one spot, the guys that had the luxuries, okay, they got to the point they got tired of their wives complaining, so they allowed their wives to work at these jobs, you understand, excuse me, just to get the wives off the backs. Just to let you know, just to get the wives off the backs because they didn't want them to be fussing. So they just had friends, guy friends or somebody to say, hey, just let my wife work here. She ain't got to do anything. Just let her work here and just pay her, or I'll give her a money for the salary or whatever. Just give her something because I'm tired of her fussing. Just give her something. Give her something. She ain't got to do much, but just put her there for now. It was that. When it came to the other, excuse me, y'all. When it came to the other, it was a little bit more. They had to take the less than jobs. They really had to work just as hard. So if the man was getting 10 cents, the wife was getting 5 cents. And she was working just as much as the man was. So we grew up into a society where females always had to fight for a spot. Some was given, some had to work for it. You understand? But what has happened is things have went from just doing it just to say I have a life of my own, went to a competition. And once that competition happened, it was like a falsified competition. But it was an ego thing. It was literally ego thing. The men end up felt like the women trying to take their spot and the females trying to have their own spot. And that's how society has ran off. Now let's come forward to this point. We are in a point where the females finally got their spots, but then it's like It's crazy. It's like, as females, you finally get the spot, but it's still not enough. So now it got to the point that females had a females became like start sexualizing themselves. It's like, not all, but it became to a point now where it's like, dang, I work hard, and I'm not gonna give up. Like, even other races, all races, there are people that are actually working hard because they want to show I deserve this spot. But what has happened is, in this world, men has caused a point where they don't want to feel like they losing something, and then now females have turned to the point they sexualizing everything. So now a lot of females, when it comes to positions and job, if they're not showing something or being provocative to get the job, it's like you can't have the job. You understand? It's like everything has become sexualized, and then on top of that, now I'm gonna call it what it is. Now you got to compete not just with the straight guys. You got to compete with the LGBTQ community guys as well. You know, I'm gonna call you guys because that's what y'all are. Even if you dress as a female, whatever your preference is yours. I don't have to condone to that. If anybody else, that's their business. I'm still love you no matter what. But I don't know why I gotta stop and state this, but I'm gonna be like this. Your original identity is your true self. Whatever you do after that is your option. In my opinion, of what I feel is best may not matter to you, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna show you respect and call you who you really are. You understand? It's that if you feel some type of way, so it's like that, okay? And don't take that as a disrespect, because it's disrespectful for not being thankful for how you came into this world, okay? That's disrespectful, not to just yourself, but to your parents. You know, you understand me? Be thankful, because if it wasn't for the original, you wouldn't even be the copy you are today. All right, so that goes for all of y'all. But I still love y'all. It is what it is. But I'm gonna always be me. All right. I'm not gonna conform to y'all terms and technology. Okay. Who you was created to be is who I know you are. Know you as. Okay. But I'm gonna still love you through your process. All of y'all. All right. I'm not mad at you because you're learning. Okay. But I'm not going to sit here and call, they, him, her, she, all that. I'm not going to do all of that. What I see you as is what I know you as. All right? Because when you pray to me, your original copy is what I see. Remember that. Your original copy is what I see. And I know I tell you I'm blind in the spiritual world, but that's why what I recognize is the original. I don't recognize all this other stuff. Sidebar, everyone, I need y'all to know that whenever y'all come to me in prayer, I only talk to the original copies. Because that's the truth. I can't talk to a lie. Because then I'm a lie. I don't deal with liars. I do truth. Okay? Now, even though you want to be a liar, I'm going to love you through the process. But I'm only going to talk to the part of you that's being honest with you. Okay? Back to my message. So, yeah. So when it comes to it, it's like females really have to. They don't have to, but females, as y'all growing up, it's like I'm in competition with everybody. I'm not just in competition with the men. I'm not just in competition with the females. I'm not just in competition with my gender. I mean, with my color, or race, however you want to call it, my religion. It's like, dang, as a female, we in competition with everyone. Why I gotta be in competition with everyone? Why I have to? I just want to get up, get myself together, put clothes on, go out here and be my best self. But no, I have to get in a line where I'm the only one on my lane. But then when I get to the door, I got to fight all of these people. I got to go against all these people. And this message is more for the kids, but I'm just trying to explain life. Excuse me. So, what has happened, y'all, as females, good girls, we got to the point, and I'm going to just throw me in it, even though I'm not this type, but I'm going to throw me in it, okay? We got to the point that we feel like we got to show our bodies just to be seen, because everybody want to compete with us. You understand? And it's not easy out here sometimes, because it's like, you really work hard. A lot of y'all really work hard. But it got to the point, it's like, no matter how hard I try, this man is up here trying to tear me down. This man up here is trying to talk to me like I ain't nothing. If I don't sit back and conform to his way, like, think about it. A lot of y'all are in male-dominant jobs. And every time you speak your truth, what happens? Nobody want to listen. Or they steal your ideas and they call it your own. You understand? And it's like, why I gotta fight? It's like, I'm a hard worker. I work twice as much. I do just as much. And I got to give over my job, my opportunity to these other men. And see, the reason why I'm holding this conversation, because we have so many young ones. Y'all are growing up, and I don't want y'all to feel like y'all have to sell your soul just to get a spot. You already had a spot. Don't let this world fool you. You understand? And I know that when it comes to it like this, as I stated in this genre of things, you have these women that want jobs, and you want these women, you have these women that want jobs, and you have the women that want families. You know, careers and families. So when I go back in the day, that's how it was. See, when the families that had all those kids and stuff, those women wanted careers. The women that was on the other side just wanted families. But the thing about it is, both wanted the same thing. It's just in reverse. See, in this world, it looked like I have to either pick a career or pick my family. I can't have both. Why I can't have both? Why I can't have both? We are taught that if you grow up, don't be sitting back looking for no man. Don't be doing all of that, because you're going to lose your career, baby. Because if this man out there can take you down the wrong path, and then you don't get to have that, or you got kids, you can't be nothing in this world when you have kids, and this and that. And before you know it, y'all lose so much yourself. Y'all sit back, y'all will go to college. You do all of this stuff just to be 40, 50 years old, and then talking about in your head, I'm good, I don't want nobody, I don't want this, I don't want that. But deep down you're like, man, I hit my prime, I hit my cutoff date. Now I can't have the family I want. And I want y'all kids to sit back and realize that, I know you, first and foremost, I'm not promoting having like kids and stuff. What I'm trying to say is this: as a child growing up, you can have it all. You can, okay? You can have it all, but not the way that these people out here trying to tell you how to do it. You can have the family. You can have the career. You can have the peace of mind. Okay? And I'm not saying this to knock down guys, because y'all wasn't taught the right way either. None of y'all was. Yeah, you was taught how to grow up to take care of family. But do you understand the value of the family? Just paying bills and making sure there's food on the table doesn't mean that the job is done. Communication is key. Trust is key. Loyalty is key. Respect is key. Love is key. Without any of these keys, y'all are locked in a box. And you wonder why everybody trying to free themselves. So what I'm trying to say is this, girls. If you want to be able to have that happy ever after life, you got to go within. You have to start now. I don't care how old you are in the world. Start now loving yourself. Because if you keep putting that love into everything else, you're going to keep attracting everything else. And you want what you need for you. You have to love yourself. Put the energy in you now. Clean out the source now. Clean out the toxicity now. So you can attract the right jobs. You can attract the right friends. You can attract the right guys. You can attract the right female. You can attract all the things you need to attract. So you can have that career you want. And you can get up every day It don't matter what time you get up, you go do your job, you come back home, the kids is taking, you can still take care of the kids, you have a loving husband and everything. You can have it all. But y'all want rush orders. You want, by the time I turn 20, I want to have this. By the time I turn 40, I want to have this. By the time I turn 50, I want to have that. You putting restrictions on your life. I never said that you can never have goals on when, but the timing is not your time. Because time, it doesn't even exist. What if you sitting back saying by 20, you want to have that career? What if you're supposed to have it at 15? It's possible. All things is possible. What if at 15 that would have been the time? But no, you said 20. Now you miss your own spot. You miss your own spot because you set the goal for 20. Now you over here push yourself back further and you miss the opportunity. See, one thing y'all haven't paid attention to, kids, is this. If y'all notice in y'all genre and y'all time, kids don't get to do anything until they turn like 20, 30 years, 20 years old. Go back and look in the past. Look at how many kids had careers at a little younger age. And I'm not talking about just, I'm not just talking about in the entertainment world, like TV stuff. Kids, there was a lot of kids that was making changes in the world at young ages. Because they started early. They started early. They focused on themselves. And they was able to get into what they wanted to be in. I don't want y'all to think y'all gonna lose. Oh, but if I'm a kid, then I won't get to enjoy life. Yes, you are. When you are in your lane, everything is gonna be fun. You just got to allow yourself to ignore the pain process. Yeah, you're gonna go through a little bit of storm, but that's to help you, not to hinder you. Y'all run from the storm and wondering why y'all keep falling into another, because every time you run from your storm, you get caught up in somebody else's storm and wondering why you were like Dorothy trying to find your way back home. Because you in somebody else's tornado, you in somebody else's hurricane, you in somebody else's tsunami, you in somebody else's fire, you in somebody else's flood, because you keep running away from your own. You got to remember one thing. When y'all popped out of y'all mother's womb, you fell right into the eye of the storm. You are already in the Bermuda Triangle when you popped out into this world. It's up to you to get on the other side of it, but you got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to get out of this mindset of thinking, I got to compete with everyone. No, you don't. Do you know we are in multi dimensions? We in multiple dimensions. Give me a second. We in multiple dimensions, okay? Look at it like this. Don't pay attention to my handwriting. It might be backwards on your end. But you got the 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, and all the way up. As long as my brain go, we're going to keep on rolling. So right now, 30% of y'all in maybe in 3D. 40% is in, I'm at 19% in 4D. And then I'm in the 1% in the 5D. This is the thing. You're not competing with everybody. You're competing with all of yourselves. There is a you in each layer. There's a you in each layer. You got to compete with yourself. That's it. Stop competing with all these other people. You competing with yourselves. Stop stressing about what these people are doing, how they doing, and this and that. You competing with yourselves. Do you know your reality changes when your mind changes? That's why I keep telling y'all, pay attention to the details. It's no different than where I stay at. So behind the yard where I stay at, there was no pole behind the yard. And then once my energy level got up, the pole popped out of nowhere. It looked like it's been sitting in the ground the whole time. Because I went to another dimension. Y'all can still see me. Y'all can still hear me just like everybody else. Everyone is in different dimensions. You can't see it, but you are. Everyone is in their own worlds, own dimensions. When you pay attention, you're going to start noticing, like, when you start focusing on yourself, you're going to start noticing when your energy go up, people that was mean around, you're going to start getting nicer around you. And then you go up, people that you dealt with, you're going to start noticing that they're not with you. And you keep going up. Y'all noticing stuff now. There's like like the other day, I seen so many different things, but y'all start noticing in each dimension, something changes. It's like, I know that I seen this person yesterday, or I know that I told this person that we was going to do this, or I know, yeah, because your mindset keeps shifting. You can go up or you can go down. Like I tell y'all plenty of times, y'all can sit back, I told the older ones, you can sit back and tell somebody something, right? And then the next day you be like, hey, do you remember the conversation? They be like, I don't remember that, because in that nighttime span, you could have changed dimensions. So apparently it's a possibility they didn't hear that conversation, not in the dimension you're in. That's why so many people are having memory loss and memory problems, is because they keep shifting dimensions over and over and over again. And you don't know where you're at, so it's time to focus here. So what I'm trying to say is this. As ladies, as little girls, we need to stop selling our bodies to try to get a spot in a world that ain't got nothing to do with us. When you get up, you need, I'm not saying like you can't dress up and can do things, but there's a time and place for everything. Whenever you conduct in business, represent yourself as business. Don't sell your body to get a spot, because when you start selling your body to get a spot, you're going to have to continue selling your body to keep the spot. Y'all have to realize, see, this is a thing, and I don't want to have to address this, but I have to. Yes, when it comes to this world, men need to know where their place is at. They don't need to be sitting there touching on you, feeling on you, staring down at you like you a piece of meat. Okay? And a lot of times you don't have to sit back and dress provocative for somebody to look, because guess what, ladies and girls? Men gonna look. You can have a bag on and they'll still look. Okay? That's just their DNA. They're gonna look. Alright? Now, they shouldn't be looking at no little kids. You understand me? We shouldn't have that. The thing about it is, the way y'all representing yourselves now, y'all look like y'all in y'all 20s and 30s. But don't get me wrong, every generation done it. Every generation done it. Okay? It just changed throughout time, but we're going to have to stop it somewhere. Every generation that your mama and them done it to somebody. They ain't going to tell you, but they done it. You understand me? Every generation has done it. Even for myself. Now, I never went to try to be provocative, but we all try to play that little, you know, how can I say, that little role of, is they looking at me? Are they looking at me type thing? We all played it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I ain't have one moment of it. And I saw how janky that looked, and I said, I can't do that. And that looked desperation. And I had clothes on. That's desperate. I can't do it. No, I can't do it. But the thing about it is this, y'all. We have to get to a point that we start representing ourselves the right way. Stop going out here to show your body off and make excuses. I'm just showing myself. This is my body and I can do what the heck I want. Nah, you trying to convince yourself that. I'm going to tell you that right now. Y'all trying to convince yourself that I love me. Oh, I just love showing my body. This is who I am and this is that. Nah, child, nah. You might love your body, but you don't love yourself. You understand? If you sitting out here and y'all trying to represent yourselves to dress very provocative, a lot of y'all doing it because y'all want attention, but y'all trying to tell yourself you love yourselves. And you don't need to do that, okay? Like, there's a time and place for everything. When you're in school, pretend that's your business. That's your company, okay? That's your company. Pretend that's a business. You are in a business. You're learning. You are a student and you're the teacher. So, guess what? As a teacher, represent yourself as a teacher. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm just saying like this. Y'all, I know y'all like y'all sweatpants and y'all hoodies and all of this stuff. But I'm just saying, when you get to the point you trying to show yourselves, come on, represent yourselves better. All right? You are, I'm going to call it what it is. You're not a prostitute. Okay? You're not. I don't want you to be that. You deserve more than that. And for the ones that's out there that hear my message, you deserve more than that. You understand me? You are way worth more than that. And I'm not talking about, oh, get the price higher. No, you worth more than that. Show yourself respect. It's no different than when y'all the ones that are starting to get jobs and stuff, right? When you're looking for a job, this is something I done. You ain't gotta follow follow what I do, but I'm just say this. Even when I was older, when I started looking for a job, this was all me. Nobody didn't tell me nothing. Whenever I go for a job, even if I'm giving a resume to someone and knocking on the door, hey, are y'all hiring? I'll always have a resume with me, and I would still dress as if I'm gonna get the interview at that present moment. That's how I operated. I always represent. Anytime I go to door looking, I don't care if I was in the malls, I don't care where I was at. I took a folder with my resumes in it, a bunch of resumes, and I will automatically dress as if I'm already getting the interview on the spot. Because I want to prove that I'm worth more than just some drive-by or just this paper. See, I put the value in myself, not the paper. You understand me? And that's what I want y'all to do. I want you to put the value in yourself and not the paper. Know who you are. When y'all out here, y'all going out here, don't go to I don't care if it's a shoe store, clothing store. Don't go out here and just wear your regular outside door clothes to get a job. Represent yourselves. It's time to put respect on your name. Go out here, put your best on. Okay? And I understand everybody ain't got it like that, but do whatever you can and represent yourself. This is the mindset I had. Anytime I went to a job to try to look for a job, I automatically looked at it as I'm getting a job that day. I'm getting a job that day. Today I'm getting a job. I'm getting a job today. I'm getting an interview on the spot. Because I had that mindset, I think about four jobs I had, I got the job on the spot. Because of that. Because I walked in with that mentality, and I know, excuse me, a lot of companies, they're like, oh, we got to do it online. So what? I've had those too. I don't care. I put it online. I did my online, but I'm bringing you a physical form as well. Okay, because I want you to see my face. I need you to know what the value you about to have with your company. That's how I operated. I didn't sit back and wait for somebody to call me. I made those calls. And I'm teaching y'all high schoolers, because it's time for y'all to get into that form and mindset. Okay? You are your company. How you going to conduct your business? You understand me? You got to ask yourself, if someone was coming up to your company, how will you want them to treat it? You understand me? If you don't know how to treat your business, then how you going to know what type of company you want to have? You only going to get the star rating that you give yourself. And I ain't talking about your body and how it looks and stuff like that. Because guess what? All businesses on the outside look good on the outside. But when you walk on the inside, it still can be a mess. You understand me? How many times y'all go into clothing stores, the outside of buildings clean. You walk into the clothing store, all the clothes on the floor. You can't even get through the racks and stuff. You don't want to have people to look at you like clothes on the floor, something they can step on or step over. Do you understand? Represent yourselves the right way. Y'all getting older. For my college ones, time to do it right. Stop going to the interviews trying to think you're going to be on with these short dresses and skirts on and reveal. Because guess what? You're about to become an assistant. And you're going to be assistant with a lot of things. And my thing is this. We need to cut back on sexual harassment. Because a lot of times, y'all walk in the door like prostitutes. And then when the manager finally tests the service that you're providing, now y'all ready to go to H&R. And then what's so crazy is those females that actually wear the clothes like they're supposed to can't even get help because there's too many lawsuits for y'all. And that ain't right. And we're not going to sit here and keep blaming guys and say, well, they should have known better. No, you need to know better too. Don't present yourself as a product that you don't want to sell. You conduct in business. Handle yourself as such. Because I've seen too many adults out here doing this lately. And this is something the thing. You notice what I noticed, little ones? When it comes to a lot of these females, especially the ones that can talk, and they talk just like me, right? They would get on the shows and have conversation with these guys, and they'll show all this stuff, right? But want to talk about they love themselves, but they dressing as if they going to a club. But then when they get on the shows with the females, now they want to dress up and make sure that they decent, because now they in competition with another female. They trying to prove to the other female they a boss. But then when they in the front of the man, now they want to sit back and act like they a leader. We can't do that. And I want y'all to treat yourselves the right way. When you handle business, conduct yourself as the business you want to hold. Even, I'm put it like this, and I'm going to let it go. Even a building know how to keep the windows closed. On that note, y'all have a blessed day.